Most trans people I know, if they're on dating apps, all have horror stories.
There's a lot to break down there.
15 pictures of his genitals.
That's not a way to open the door.
But what do I do with that?
A little intense, if you ask me.
There's nothing to bite into.
It's just a little bit strange to me.
That is so specific, but I'm into it.
Oh, sorry. I'm a little distracted right now. I just matched with this really cute person and trying to use dating apps as a trans person can be so frustrating. We have to deal with rude comments, invasive questions, and so many people asking about our genitals. It's like people need some kind of crash course in how to talk to trans folks, like some kind of casual, approachable video where we could hear from real trans people about their dating experiences. Someone should really make something like that. So you've matched with a gorgeous, gorgeous trans person on your dating app of choice. And now it's time to send the opening message. It's no secret that first impressions are everything. So what's the right thing to say?
A good opening line for me would be something that references my profile. I find people don't read people's profiles enough, and so I specifically made something on mine that says, ask me about being, and I listed a bunch of things. So it's like, I'm an autistic human, I do drag, I'm a bartender, I do tattoos. So just ask me about one of them.
People are people. Trans people are just a different kind of people. And any way you approach anyone should always be respectful and interesting. So if I say like, hey, I'm queer, I'm non-binary, I work in games, I have an interest in film, I write, just anything that's about me, I would love for them to comment on it. They're always the best. The ones that don't jump straight into, wanting to get into bed with me or something.
I would say the unsolicited dick pictures are probably just like the worst things to have to go through, because it's like, well, what do I do with that?
Some people will get like almost really sexual off the start. Like I got this one guy, he decided to send me 15 genital pictures in different angles. Why do I need 15 pictures? Like, are you trying to create a stop motion movie, dude?
As someone who is a demisexual person, meaning I don't really have sexual attraction to somebody unless I have an emotional connection, throwing something sexual at me right away is gonna get you nowhere.
The key thing is, if you want like a hot tip, ask a question. Something that invites a conversation, because if you just give me a statement, or worse, you just say, hey, you're hot. Like, there's nothing to bite into.
The best ones are the ones that like catch you off guard, where you're like, oh, like, I remember someone being like, are you the HTTP to my : / That is so specific, but I'm into it. And then they didn't keep messaging me, so I didn't keep to...
So you send your opening message, but you haven't landed a first date quite yet. You're gonna wanna chat a bit, get to know each other. You might have some burning questions though. Maybe there'll be some words in their profile you've never heard before. And some transgender people may even choose not to disclose the fact they're transgender. So, is it okay to ask questions about someone's gender?
I would stay away from that at the start. Going straight into questions, especially about like, genitals and kind of private questions, that's kind of a no-go. Just like asking that straight up is just a little bit strange to me, and it's almost a little intense, if you ask me.
The worst opening line for me is, do you have a dick or a vagina? And it's just like, just don't do that.
It's not always okay to ask personal questions, because those can be really invasive. It doesn't really feel hot when someone asks me what's in my pants.
Have you gotten this surgery? And even just the question, have you gotten this surgery? There's a lot to break down there that gets very exhausting. Like, not all trans people get surgery or have to get surgery. It's one of those complicated things.
It feels gross. Nowadays, I just laugh it off. I never reply. Like, another hot tip is just don't reply. There's no obligation to reply to anyone, especially if they make you uncomfortable, right? If it's particularly egregious, I might take a screenshot and share it with friends. I can think of at least one group I'm in where we have a whole chat literally just set aside to awful DMs. Because it's usually laughable, and the sad thing is it's immediately relatable.
I usually dress pretty feminine, so I have a lot of feminine photos. So a lot of people are just like, aren't you just a confused trans woman? And it's like, no, like I'm non-binary. And I feel like a lot of people kind of like to jump to that whole like, oh, being trans is cookie cutter. Like there's only one way to be trans.
It's really good if people are doing some learning on the side and they're not using just that one trans person in their life as the only source of knowledge.
You got to do that research up front yourself, right? Google is free. You might not think you've ever met a trans person, but you probably have, or you've walked past a trans person, you've been served by a trans person, someone's bagged up your groceries. We're everywhere.
Okay, you've said the fantastic opener, refrained from invasive questions, everything's going great. Now, you're gonna wanna let this captivating cutie know you're into them with a smooth compliments.
I really like to be called, you know, like beautiful or pretty. Like I like feminine compliments. For some people, I guess like maybe like pretty and beautiful wouldn't be considered gender neutral. But I feel like, you know, even going with like, you're looking good today, or like, oh, I really like this one pic of you. You look nice in that picture. Just sticking to more like gender neutral compliments.
My favorite compliments to receive are on things that I have personally had a choice in. So when people tell me that they really like my personality or they like my style, or even if that they like my cat, right? Like that's a better compliment than oh, you're so f***ing hot. Like I don't quite know what to do with that.
Amongst the worst compliments are ones that people think are compliments, but are really just them trying to hit on me and not offering anything of substance. And someone messaged me saying, hey, you look like a who likes to party. And, you know, in a way, they're not wrong. But that's not a way to open the door to dialogue.
We're all still human, and humans like to be told, hey, you're cool. You're a cool human. Like even just straight up, that's a great compliment right there. Like, you're awesome, you're cool. You're like, yeah, I am, thanks.
Just be yourself, be nice, offer something to continue talking on, and hope for a little luck.
I've met some lifelong friends and partner type people off of dating apps before, so it's successful. You can meet a trans person and have a lovely time with them, have a lovely long-term relationship with them. The reason why all of these have been successful is because these people just came at me like a human, like a person. Trans people are just humans, just like everybody else. I'm clearly labeled, so in case you don't know.
If you've done everything correctly, congratulations. You're now chatting it up with an absolute hottie, all while respecting their unique identity and personal boundaries. And if you're really lucky, you might even get a first date. Good luck out there. And remember, the sexiest thing in the world is treating others with respect. Stay safe and have fun.
Cut.